I got a subpoena. My manager asked me, is there any way you can get out of it? I looked her square in the eye and said, it is a subpoena. To show up in court. Court. A subpoena. Just a story from years ago when I worked at the world's largest beverage company rhymes with Croaca that came to mind scrolling the thread. Same manager asked me why I was in the bathroom for 7 minutes twice a week. And my answer was simply, I had to go to the bathroom. I tried sitting in my own piss, but found it distasteful. Gosh. I don't know. Here is the court phone number. Call them and explain that it's an inconvenience to you. I'm sure they'll understand. There actually is a way to get out of a subpoena. If your boss calls the judge and tells the judge that it's really important that you stay at work instead of going to court, the judge will let you stay at work instead of going to court. Some judges will even provide lunch for you and your manager. It's just really important that your manager does this and not you. She sounds like the company would be totally psyched to fund the motion to quash the subpoena, including hiring the lawyers to research, write, and argue it. They can and will issue a warrant for your arrest. Can't work if I get arrested now, can I? She's too dumb to know the difference between jury duty and a subpoena. I had a boss once ask me about bathroom times. I asked her if she'd prefer me to use her desk. Apparently she lost all interest in my restroom habits shortly thereafter. Once worked at a place where I was subpoenaed for a company-related lawsuit. The company lawyers told me to take off time until the subpoena date with pay more than a week. And to tell the truth, follow all court instructions, etc. I came back to a new manager. It seems the old manager had already fucked up with another employee. Normal people don't get to fuck around with court orders. Well, too bad it didn't happen post-2020 when American representatives set the precedent that subpoenas are just a suggestion. IDK. Mr. Middle Management. Why don't you ask the judge? God. These power-tripping ignoramuses are insufferable. My employment history leaves me baffled when I hear stories about bosses freaking out if you take a day off. Will the business really crash and burn if one employee misses a day unplanned? My career was military, and if you were ill one morning or needed some time for personal administration, my superiors rarely said anything but yes. My absence was not going to send the whole army into bankruptcy. Of course it was different on deployment. Are businesses so fragile that one employee going to court is a disaster? That's next level arrogance. Wow. When I was in the National Guard and working retail, I was called in for state active duty. Not some bullshit, either. Legitimate hurricane rescue shit. District manager tried to tell me off for leaving, saying I couldn't shut the store down and there'd be consequences. I knew how much of a mistake this was on his end. So there was no fear of unemployment when I told him to go fuck himself on the phone. He learned how horrible his decision was when the USARA division from Fed-Dal visited him. Yes. In person. The only correct response to why do you go to the bathroom periodically is to look amazed, drop your voice to a whisper, and ask, are you a robot? It's okay. I won't tell anyone. Followed by a whispered, real humans are chemically fueled, and every few hours discard waste products from their chemical metabolism. Gestures toward bathroom. In SY I go to the bathroom several times a day. If you pay attention, I bet you'll notice that the other real humans do it, too. Same manager asked me why I was in the bathroom for 7 minutes twice a week. Hope next time you give a really graphic description of exactly what went on. If you tell the court that, they'll haul him down there and fine him. That's a big no-no. See, when all of us assholes get a subpoena, We are required to go either to court or to jail. When political assholes get subpoenaed to Congress, they can just say, "Ah, fuck it. I'm golfing?" How TF does this work? Had a boss ask me, aka heavily imply that I should to get out of jury duty by making something up. She even suggested that one of the doctors in the office might be able to write me a note. Sure, boss. Can you call up the court and explain why I can't come? I don't think they'll take my word for it. You're absolutely right, I should be shitting on your desk instead. Was there anything else you wanted? Is your manager stupid? You know what, never mind. Most managers are. That shows you how little she cares about you as a person. Be like mercenaries. Work for the highest bidder. There is no family at work. Same manager asked me why I was in the bathroom for 7 minutes twice a week. And my answer was simply, I had to go to the bathroom. I am a human being with biological and issues round it existing. Dear manager, are you a robot? Who built you? Just a story from years ago when I worked at the world's largest beverage company rhymes with Croaka Croaka. Oh, it's Fanta. Tell the judge you are worried about being able to appear because your boss said that. My boss state their name and where they work. Just a story from years ago when I worked at the world's largest beverage company rhymes with Croaka Croaka that came to mind scrolling the thread. Oh, Pepsi. No, but you asking me that places you in a potentially legally actionable position. Must be a fan of Trump. Subpoena just means don't go, right? Act disgusted and outraged and ask, are you one of these persons who fantasize and get off thinking about that? What I do in there is private and I will escalate it to HR and will press charges if you continue this sexual harassment. Pervert. Croaka Croaka, do you know how rhyming works? It's not impossible, but you'll have to pay for my lawyer. If you're a Republican, they're more like guidelines, right? Maybe he thought it worked just like jury duty. Just smash your iPhones with hammers and delete mail server. Why do you have to use the bathroom? Why do you not want to break the law? Rhymes with Croaka Croaka, does it? Or does it rhyme with Croaka Crola? What a terrible rhyme. Politicians and rich people can ignore subpoenas. Why can't you? Times like these you need Deadpool. Former employment lawyer here. Most states require employers to let you off for subpoenas and jury duty. Google can let you know if your state is one of them. The best way to get out of a subpoena is to be a congressman and just ignore it. I'm looking at you. Jim Jordan. Pretty creepy that your manager would be paying attention that closely to how long you were in the bathroom. Are you going to pay for a lawyer to look into it? I could die? Better call Saul. I mean, she might have mistaken a subpoena for jury duty. I wouldn't expect a manager at Coke to be knowledgeable about the differences. I will say something I love about my organization is that they give me full day's pay for jury duty without having to do PTO. But in return I just have to give them the stipend I get from the jury service, which is a trade I'll make any time. Lol. Some of the first wrongful termination in violation of public policy employment cases relate to employees getting jury summonses, showing up to court, and getting fired for doing so. Complying with a subpoena is 100% protected by law. Of course it is. Always shit on company time. It's only right. I would have told him, what should I tell the DA lawyer when I will be asked if my boss tried to tell me not to show up to the subpoena? And laughed at his face. Your rhyme game is tight. Open mouth smile.